In 1974, the first WIC clinic opened in Pineville, Kentucky. Today, the WIC program provides services in all 50 states. It uses federal money to pay for vouchers for mothers with young kids to buy healthy food like fruits and veggies and whole grain bread and baby formula for their little kids who can't eat solid food. For weeks now, not just WIC moms, but all moms have been scouring shelves for baby formula due to a kind of perfect storm of corporate and bureaucratic and logistical failures. This nationwide shortage has turned into a full-blown crisis, and it is hitting those WIC moms, those moms below the poverty line, especially hard. A huge part of the WIC program is about supplying baby formula to mothers. Of all the baby formula sold in the United States, more than half is purchased by mothers on WIC assistance. And because this is a federal program, there are restrictions on the exact kinds of formula you can get. If you're lucky enough to find formula on the shelves, but that is not a WIC-approved brand or size, you are out of luck. And so today, Congress tried to fix that. The Democratic-controlled House of Representatives has voted on a bill appropriately named the Access to Baby Formula Act, which would knock down some of that red tape to expand access to baby formula under the WIC program. And it sounds like a no-brainer, right? In the middle of a nationwide formula shortage, let's make it just a little easier for the poorest mothers to access baby formula. It's almost impossible to come up with a reason to be against it. And yet, 9 Republicans, 9 of them voted no on that bill. Representatives like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert and Matt Gaetz voted to keep that red tape that makes it harder for poor mothers to access food for babies. And if you think that is shocking, multiply that by about 20, because that was one of 2 bills passed by the House to address the baby formula shortage. The other will give the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, more money to help increase formula supply and to prevent this kind of shortage from ever happening again. And it passed as well, but barely, because 192 Republicans voted against that bill, which again would make it easier for parents to feed their babies. It is astounding that House Republicans, almost in unison, have just telegraphed to the country that they do not care about using every single legislative lever at their disposal so that their fellow Americans can stop worrying about how they are going to feed their infant children. I mean, I've got to be honest. This is on a whole other level, coming from the political party in this country that claims to be obsessed with the well-being of babies. The Republican obsession with being pro-life apparently ends when the baby is born. If you are having trouble keeping your baby alive because you cannot find it food, you're on your own there. Thanks to the Democratic majority, both of those bills to expand access to baby formula have passed the House. One has already passed the Senate. And while we wait for them to arrive on President Biden's desk, it is a good moment to check in on how exactly we got here. Last September, the FDA conducted an inspection of a baby formula plant in Michigan. On that same day, a baby was hospitalized with a severe bacterial infection after consuming formula produced at that plant. 3 other babies would go on to get sick after drinking formula from that factory. 2 of them died, tragically. The FDA says they found no traces of that deadly bacteria in the plant when they inspected it in September. But when they went back a few months later, they found traces of it all over the place, on the walls, on the floors, on doors. And so the plant was shut down. This particular factory supplies about 1/5 of the nation's formula supply. The FDA has reportedly struck a deal with the factory to get production up and running in the next 2 weeks. But it could still mean months before new formula from that factory hits shelves nationwide. Because the FDA failed to address those issues earlier, even though it had been tipped off by a whistleblower, because the Biden administration did not come up with a workaround until the shelves started turning bare, because the formula company failed to keep the factory clean in the first place. Because of all of that, we are in the midst of a crisis that has parents terrified. They will not be able to have food for their babies. And so now the Biden administration is playing catch-up. The first line of attack has a catchy name, Operation Fly Formula. The idea is to airlift baby formula into the United States like you would first aid to a war zone. The Defense Department will contract commercial planes, load them up with baby formula produced in other countries, and zip them right over to the US, bypassing existing freight routes that move much slower. Just tonight, a Biden administration official tells NBC News that the first Operation Fly Formula flights will take off as soon as this weekend. The first flight is expected to leave from Zurich in Switzerland, loaded up with 1.5 million bottles of formula, 8 ounces each. The plane will land in Plainfield, Indiana. From there, the formula will be distributed all over the country. President Biden also announced he would be triggering the Defense Production Act to ramp up the formula supply. That's the same tool used to increase the supply of masks and gowns and vaccines during the height of the pandemic. The White House said it will now be used, the Defense Production Act, to increase access to the ingredients that manufacturers need to make more formula. But the administration says it could still take weeks for availability to return to normal, and that is if these Hail Marys work.